Hello, welcome to the Digital Trap, where I empower parents with the technology that they need to know to protect their kids online. My mission is to demystify parental controls, share practical tips, and reveal the tricks that kids use so that you can navigate the online world with confidence. I'm your host, Jack Hughes, and because I grew up in this age of digital devices, I have firsthand experience on what it's like to get around parental controls and how to set that up to prevent your kids from doing what I did as a kid. Now, quick heads up, if you want personal help on locking down parental controls, please check out my website at parenttech.support. There, I can help you do all of that as well. Now, if you've been a viewer of this podcast before, it used to be called the Parental Show. You may think my background's a little different, and I also haven't posted in like 6 months or something like that. So I went off to college over this last year or so, and I just finished up my fall semester, and now I'm on to my spring semester. And so lots have changed. I took I'd say a whole semester off of posting regularly on this podcast here. I also renamed the podcast to The Digital Trap, just because that was a lot more of a simple name instead of the Parent Tech Support Show. I feel like the Digital Trap just is a little shorter, and it gives you a more idea of what the show is. And so lots of change. I'm also very busy in college. I've taken on quite a bit of a workload. I'm a business major as well as the honor student here and part of the student government here as well. So I'm working, like 20 credit hours a week or something like that. And so it's been a lot of work. But it's my intention and my hope to continue to start posting a little less here than I did when I was not in college. But I still want to post, still want to make content to help you, the parents out, and my viewers out on how to best protect their kids online. So going forward, maybe monthly or bi-weekly, I'll start posting again. And my other hope is I also hope to get guests on my show instead of just doing these solo episodes. I want to interview experts. I want to interview all these sorts of people who know much more than me, and so we could really learn together on how to best protect kids online, how we can get these companies to make better parental controls. I have a lot of cool and big ideas that we can implement, that we can do for the show as well. Now, even though I wasn't making content on YouTube and on LinkedIn and stuff like that, I've still continued to help parents. I've had a lot of clients, even though I haven't been posting, reach out to me, and I've been helping them protect their kids online. I'm setting up parental controls, and lots have changed in recent times. I actually I helped a college with a study. I released my first book. I think I released that before I went to college, but I haven't really talked about it till now. It's called The Definite Guide to Protecting Kids Online. I should link that down below, but I haven't really pushed that or really marketed that book yet. But most of all, I actually went on CBS, and we talked about Instagram, what happened around this time last year, what happened on Instagram, and that was released a few months ago during my fall semester. That's something I was really excited about, and I was interviewed for that by the CBS people this summer, but I never had a chance to really talk about it because I wasn't out yet. But that's what this podcast is mainly about, and brings me to today's topic, which is about Instagram, what happened around this time on December 26th, I believe, what happened on Instagram and all the dangerous content on Instagram. And that's what I was interviewed about, and that's what I want to tell you about today, and then maybe hopefully point you to the show. So first off, I'll give you a little rundown on what CBS covered and what was that whole news story that I was a part of. So on February 26th, the algorithm in Instagram broke, and the entire app was flooded with violent and graphic content. And I, for one, being a member of this Generation X and being part of the, or not Generation X, Gen Z, who would watch Instagram a lot, I was most definitely a part of this. I'm not a part of making this content, but I definitely saw a lot of the violent content that happened on February 26th. So I remember very vividly, I was on a ski trip, and I was scrolling my phone on the ski lift, and I would see terrible, terrible videos. Some videos of the Taliban cutting people's heads off. We're talking videos about, I remember this one video that I talked to my friends about, that they also saw the same video. When I was with my brother at the time, we saw a video where this, I think it was like this old woman was laying on the floor, and this elephant came around and stepped on her head and squashed it. like you would squash a pumpkin. These weren't fake, like movies. These are real events, real videos that actually happen. You know, you'd see someone cutting their appendages off with like garden clippers and whatnot. Just terrible, awful, graphic content. I remember seeing this for the first 3 videos. I'm like, what the heck is going on? What am I watching? What is this disgusting, violent content? I remember just deleting Instagram that day and being like, oh my gosh, I'm done. Because the 5 videos I saw, I even still, a year later, still thinking about these things. And just how terrible they are. I can go off and on and on and on, but how bad the stuff were and how much terrible, disgusting things that a human's never meant to see that I saw. And the scary part is, it's not just me at the time I was 18. It's not just that. There are going to be kids who are 12, who are 10, who are 8, even though they shouldn't be on Instagram. I don't think they should be on Instagram. But there are kids that young on Instagram, and they're seeing this type of content. That's scary to me. I don't want that to happen. Now, February 26th is when the algorithm broke, and it started pushing all this violent content. But CBS did some more digging, and I also did a little bit of digging myself, and we figured out that was just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath the fun side of Instagram, underneath the cat videos and the dog videos and whatnot, there was a whole entire gray market economy driven by graphic violence, gambling sites, crypto apps, porn agencies. And I remember after the February 26th day, I remember being on Instagram, and every once in a while I would see a graphic video, and if I kept watching that video because, you know, it's kind of like a morbid curiosity almost, then I'm going to start getting recommended more and more graphic videos. It really starts off tame, like a dash cam of a driver running into a deer. That was like one of the videos I saw, and then after that I saw a video of a car crash where people got brutally murdered, or not murdered, brutally killed. And then the next day, I would see another video of a shooting of where a robber goes and tries to rob a store, and the clerk pulls out a gun and shoots him. And then this is going to get progressively worse. So even after that day on February 26th, there is still graphic content being posted to Instagram, and Instagram wants to recommend those graphic videos to people if it knows you want to watch them, and if it knows that watching them is going to make them stay on the app longer. In fact, CBS conducted an interview from February to April. They identified over 600 Instagram accounts that still post real-world violence. They even did more research, and they found that even elementary school students are seeing these violent graphic videos. And this is because Instagram is set up purely for engagement. It's not set up for your enjoyment. It's not set up to benefit you. Instagram is set up to make money and to keep you on their app as long as possible, because time is money. If you can keep people on your app longer, you can push more ads to them. Instagram's whole algorithm is built for engagement. That's why I deleted Instagram. I can't have it on my phone anymore, because if I go onto it, I will be engaged, quote unquote, engaged for hours, and I'll waste countless hours of my life. And violent content, Instagram's algorithm has figured out that violent content is very engaging because it preys on our morbid curiosity. CBS also interviewed some of the people making this violent content. For example, they interviewed a guy named Matthew Furman, and he claims to have made $250,000 a year posting these violent content because it's so engaging and because you can make a lot of money through ad stuff and stuff like that. I don't know exactly how he makes his money, but I do know this is very engaging and stuff like that. And a lot of these bad actors will post these videos because they're so lucrative and whatnot. And of course, it's not just the people posting these videos that make the money. It's also Meta themselves, which makes this money. And Instagram itself stands to benefit from this. The only thing that they have negative about this is the bad publicity. But if they turn down that bad publicity and say they're trying hard not to encourage this and say it's against their terms of service, but they don't really do anything about it, so I really don't see, I see kind of a disconnect and a conflict of interest, you can say. All in all, you need to check out the story from CBS. They explain it a lot better than a kid in a college dormitory can explain it. I'll have that link down below. You'll also get to see me being interviewed on CBS, which is a really cool experience, and I hope to tell you more about it. I remember getting a call from someone, and we set up a date, and these really cool guys. I can't exactly remember their names off the top of my head, but it was the producer and the interview came to interview me. It was at a coffee shop. I had my friends over. We recorded some B-roll footage, and then after that, about a week later, I got a call from the main producer saying that their footage actually got stolen out of carjacking in California. So they had to go back again the next week and interview me, which is kind of a whole funny situation. But that was really cool because it was just a coffee shop. It made it really easy, really cool experience, and we talked about it for a while. Just a really cool. Any questions about how it went? I'd love to answer them. But that being said, my main goal is to help you protect your kids online. So if you want help protecting your kids online, please check out my website, parenttech.support. On there, you can book a call with me, and that call was pretty much like a discovery call where I can see how I can help you protect your kids online. What can I do? Can we set up parental controls together? Can we do internet controls? Do you need guidance? Do you need expert help from me? I have a lot of experience with this whole industry and genre of online stuff, just because I lived it, just because I was a kid and I used to get around these parental controls, so I know all the back doors and hidden tricks that kids use. So please check out my website, parenttech.support. I'll have it linked down below. Excuse me. I'll have it linked down below. I'd love to help you there. You can also check out my newsletter. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can read my articles. You know the spiel. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoy your week. Bye.